Well, it's been a while since I posted anything, and so I've got the excavator coming. I kind of topped out these two trees right here, and I'm going to dig all that out and with the excavator and make the turn in the road a little bit easier when I come out with my trailer. And then I'm working. But here's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to start over here on this side of the property, and I'm going to clean this up so I can get a truck and trailer on this side of the road. But here's the big problem. The Rockwood Utilities has got their inspection boxes right where I need to get into the drive, and I've talked to them and they're going to come out and look at it, but I don't expect anything. If they could shore that one up right there, I think I can get in the property without a problem. But I'm going to clean that up way back in there, probably about 40-50 feet, so that I can get a truck in here with a trailer, and I'll just take it and stack it up over in there. I'll clean all that up and move it all over there. Move this post and that post. There's an old utility pole right there that they exchanged at some point and left it laying, so I cut a 8-foot section out of it for a gate that I'm going to be putting over here. And so anyway, this is going to get cleaned up, and maybe I can get in on this property a little better. This is a busy highway, a lot of construction going on out here. But anyway, I'm going to be cutting all that hill down right there, making it somewhat level with that one, so when I make a turn right here to come out to go to my house, or my trailer and my truck I won't have to pull up so far out in the road. But anyway, so once I get that going, I'll go back on the back side of this property and continue to widen the road that goes through the property and a turnaround on the back side. So we'll get pictures of that too. Alright, truck's almost here. Talk to you later. Lots of construction over here. Holy cow. Trucks after truck after truck. There's Russell. There's a builder out here. But anyway, so I got the excavator, and it's about a 10,000 pound, and it does a great job with that thumb on it, and you can pick stuff up, and it's really a good size. So anyway, so I'm gonna get started and get you caught up on the next pictures when I get it completed. Well, it's around 6:30 on a Friday morning, and I ran the excavator, I don't know, several hours, probably 10. I've got all that stumps up and cleared all that. That backhoe belongs to the Roane County Public Utilities, and they showed up yesterday because I said they have an inspection port over here that is going to cause a problem for me getting on this side of my property, the 17-acre side. So they showed up with that backhoe and said that they took the plate off of this, and that's a sewer line, but they were going to fill it in with dirt. So we'll see. I got all this cleared back in here, so I'll let it rain on it a little bit, settle it down before I put any gravel on it. Got it opened up a lot more than I thought I would be able to. I've got the excavator for a week, but I'm going to be working on the other side of the road. And if I get through over there, I think I'll come back over here and finish going around the old road bed right here. It used to go around this property. There is a dried up old pond right in there somewhere. I believe it's right there where that big tree is. Anyway, it's in there somewhere, and I may dig that out. I don't know. We'll see. But I am going to take that tree down, and I'm probably going to cut a path right through there, so you can get in. So no, you can't see that, can you? But anyway, it's breaking daylight, and I'm not going to be able to work all day today because my wife has made dinner arrangement with friends. So I'm short on time on this Friday, but my goal today will be to move as much dirt as I can right there. I'm going to put it on my trailer, and I'm going to haul it to my house and put it in my front yard in low places. So gotta get my trailer, get the excavator down here so I can get my trailer hooked up to my truck and get it down here so I can load it. I think I'm gonna cut it all the way to that tree over there, but I wish they'd come and move that thing so I could get to it. And there sits the excavator, the workhorse. Gotta get the key. Okay, the excavator jumped a track, and it's out of the, it's not too bad, but it is out. We're right there. And so I got to get this thing back on here because the guys who rent it, nice guys, they're just snowed with business. And this is where I turned around, and when it popped off, and there's nothing here, no rocks, no stumps, no nothing that would cause. All I did was back up, and when I went to try to go forward and turned, it got loose. So maybe the grease was getting loosened up in it. But anyway, what you do is it's got a little inspection port right here, and you take that bolt off, and there's a grease fitting in there, and you undo that grease fitting, and it will retract, and then I can slide it back on and put grease back in it and start back. At least that's how it's supposed to work. Anyway, got my tools, got my grease. See if I can get to it. Later. Well, it's Saturday at 1 p.m. and I've been working since about 6:30, finishing up the drive here. Something got on my birdhouse and mashed it down. Probably a raccoon. I'll have to get something to loosen that up to get it back up there. But anyway, so I finished cutting this side of the hill down so I could widen my drive. Got it cut down, and I've got to get some rock now to put on it. And Roane County came and got their backhoe, but that was Friday morning, and they pulled up the cinder blocks that was in this hole and filled it full of dirt, I assume from right there, and packed it in. So now I can drive across this, and I think I'm going to, I've got this excavator till Wednesday, so if I get through on the back side of the property, I'll come over here on the fronts on this section and continue on clearing this old road that used to be right here. But anyway, it's a warm one today, warmer than it has been. That, they said they cannot move. It's some type of inspection port that measures the volume of the sewage that comes from this end of the county. So anyway, man, I had so many roots. That big stone was down there. Dug that up. It almost looks like a headstone. Well, get this Kubota filled up, head to the back side of the property, do some tree removal. So back there, so took down a couple more pine trees back in here and kind of just trying to smooth some of this out, but you really need a skid steer with a bucket It's just smoothed out. I might rent one and get it done. I don't know. Anyway, headed that way. As soon as I get her fueled up, headed to the back. Well, I got that tub back in the ground. It's got an underground spring right here, and it washed it out when it got the last rain back in the spring. So I came back down here with the excavator and dug the hole out and had to get some dirt off the side of the hill here, put around it. I put that big rock down there and I hope that it will give it enough weight while the water fills in so it doesn't push it back out again, but we'll see. But I got a deer stand right up there, and I cleaned all that up back in February when it's nice and cool. I need to go and clean up all those tops though. But anyway, well, I got to get back on the excavator and head on back down further. It's 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and I'm gonna get back up the hill here and back on the road and try to clean some more off the road. Talk to you later. Well, it's Monday, May the 16th at about 6:10 in the morning, and I'm headed back over here to the back of the property to continue widening the road. I worked on it Saturday and did not do anything Sunday, and so I'm headed back here. I gotta fuel her up and get ready before it gets daylight. Come over and cut this road. Grass is getting up. Got a little rain Saturday night, and so looks like we got, which we needed desperately. And so I got to go out about noon to get some fuel, and I'm gonna go down here and check my water tub to see if it got any water in it. It's down there in that bottom. And so I'm going to check that when I go to get fuel. Excavator, and I got some trees down that I got to get moved, and I got to widen this whole road up some. So anyway, it's gonna be a long day. All right, later. All right, it's about 6:40 now, and I've got my chainsaw going, and I have cut a lot of trees down. None of the big stuff. I need to get that one up there. I missed that one on that. But anyway, I cut down a bunch of trees, and it really opened up the, I might have to cut that limb off just to open it up. But anywho, I got a lot of trees down. I opened this up a lot, man. A lot of light. When I dropped that cedar right there, it opened up like I turned the light on. Allergies. Okie doke. So, let me get up around here. I was cutting. Let's go through here. And doing a pretty good job getting them to fall in the road. Cut up, so all I have to do is just push them off to the side. And then that pine tree, I erred by trying to cut just a little bit on the outside here after I cut on the inside, and it got caught. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm almost down to the end down here, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to get on the excavator, and I'm going to start cleaning some of the stuff up and see what else I need to cut to open it up a little more. I think I'm going to leave that big one right there. That's a dogwood right there. I'm going to leave those. That's a dogwood. Lots of dogwoods on this road. I don't know if they ever really bloom, but I'll leave them just in case in the spring. Sometimes it takes years for them to put on a bloom in the wild. So I'm going to crank her up and start moving some trees. And we'll take another video after I get it cleaned up. All this stuff has got my sinuses. I'm allergic to every tree there is. So my sinuses is going crazy. Okay, getting started. Well, it's 12:30 on a Monday. I've been at it for about 6 hours now. I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. I've widened this road up quite a bit. That stump right there took me an hour to get up. That thing was huge. But anyway, making progress. Happy with where I'm at right now. Had a hydraulic leak. One of the hoses started leaking. I was all crud. That's gonna put me behind now. Hope I didn't bust it. And I just put a crescent wrench on it and tightened it up. Happened to me last time I rented that. I'm glad that's all it was. Didn't leak much. But anyway, it's I widened this up a whole lot. A lot more light coming in here now. I'll take that blade and run over all this rust stuff and try to get some of it down. Gotta go get some lunch and get some more diesel fuel. And I gotta probably quit around 4:30. We got a meeting with the fellow who is running for state house representative, and he's going to be good, but you know how it is. Wide-eyed and great ideas. When you get up there, the The legal system is kind of evil and dark. And they can't do what they think they can do because of all the rules and regulations. But anyway, I'm going to get something at lunch. And I'll check back with you later. Well, today is, I don't know, Tuesday, I think. May the 17th, maybe. And it's about noon, and I've been at it since about 6:30. And I've been on the back side of the property, opening up the turnaround. I'll drive it in a minute. So I got this opened up pretty good. This place hasn't seen this much daylight in a long time. Boy, my allergies are going crazy. All these trees and dirt. But anyway, that tree right there, that tree's been dead for 6 years, and it's fallen a little bit at a time. And it is what we call a widowmaker for sure. I would like to get it down, but that branch comes off up through there, and then those will go off this way. So if I got both the excavator and pushed it over, I'm afraid those would snap and fall down on top of the excavator, destroy it and me. So I'm just going to let it take its natural course. Okay, that's what I cut up through the turnaround. And we're going to go up through there and see what that's all about. Alright. Okay. Go up there and try my turnaround. On the top of the hill up here, at the turnaround, there was like 4 or 5 hickory that weren't that big around, but man, they got a massive root system. And it took me a while to get those. I had to dig a hole of China to get it to break loose. But it opened all this up and let the sun get in on it. Hopefully it will grow some vegetation for the deer. And so this is the turnaround right here. And I took out a bunch of trees right here to create this. So let's see how this is going to work. Maybe I should have taken those out too. I've only got a couple more hours to work, and then I got to get to the house. We're going over to see a movie. And have dinner. And stuff like that. The excavator will go back Thursday. I've got one more day tomorrow after today, and I'm going to try to get across the road to clear out some more across the road, and I'll be done. I'll be glad when this gets to drive my truck over this a few times. It'll pack it down and smoothed it out a little more. Oh, right there. There's the excavator, and I'm going to cut a path. That goes off just a slight drop off, and then there's a flat hill over there. And I'm going to eventually work on that and clear all that, but I start working on making a pathway down through there. So I'll go down here and park. Got my turkey blind. There it is. Okay, gotta go back to work. Well, it's Wednesday, May the 18th, about 7 a.m. I'm gonna get started my last day for renting. I think I'm gonna cut the bank down just a little bit more before I go to the other side. And my wife's got a bunch of cannons she needs to get up because they're too thick. I think I'm gonna just dig a trench along that down through there, and when I dig the cannons up, I'll put them right there before I put the rock down. Then I've got this little situation. This old tree over here has been rotting for a long time, and that big old cedar tree, the top broke out of it, and when I rented the excavator first time, I cut it up and moved it. But that old tree it fell, and now it's leaning up against that cedar tree, which doesn't have much life in it. Looks like that cedar tree's dead too. Anyway, it's a big mess. I may work on that too before I go across the road. I may take all that down, take that down, take that down, and take that cedar tree. I know that thing's got a massive root system in it. Holy cow, it's just massive. But okay, so we'll get started here. Okay, here's the situation. So I went up and I got about where that fork of that tree is right there, and I started pushing it over, and you can see right there that that limb is caught on that cedar tree, and it was wanting to rotate back toward me, and I slightly eased out of it, and I said, no. God was telling me, Johnny, you're fixing to screw up big time. You're going to be in a world of hurt. So I backed off real easy, and I came down, and that's the old stump that was right here. I said, well, I need to get on that side, turn around, and pull it from the bottom. And that way, when it rotates, it'll fall back where the excavator is now. So I started digging this stump, and this stump has been dead a long time, but man, it had some massive roots in it. Look how big those, I don't know if you can tell, but they've got massive roots system, and it took a bit to get them broke up, even though they were rotten. So I'm fixing to fill this hole back in, move some of this stuff around, and get on that side and pull it from the bottom and pull it back this way, so it'll rotate and fall probably right where I'm at right now. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I got that tree down finally. It's taken me a while because what I decided to do was, instead of working from this side trying to push it, I'd go around to the back and come around and work from, pull it that way. So as I started working, there was like clusters of dead trees everywhere over there that I never really paid any attention to, and a bunch of dead stuff on the ground, which irritated me, but I said, well, I can live with that for a little while. So I started cleaning that up to get around, and then I got dead tree after dead tree after dead trees, a cluster of them. And so I just started just cleaning it up. Finally got that down. It split right in half. So I can get my chainsaw, cut that up, and then I think I'll clean that right there. And to see how much time I got, I still not have gotten across the road. And I may not get to it today because this is bothering me more than, I'm pretty happy with what's going on across the road, but we'll I'm gonna work on this, I believe, for the rest of the day, and then dig a little trench over there at the gate for these cannons my wife wants to pull up at our house. We've got too many of them, and I'm gonna plant them right over there. But anyway, it's all good. It's kind of tricky there with spots, but God told me don't do that, so I didn't do that. Okay, let's get back to it. Well, it's Thursday morning, about 8:30, and the rental place is coming to get the Kubota sometime. They haven't called me yet. They should be here probably about 9. Anyway, I ended up having to take it down a lot more than anticipated because there's a lot of dead trees. That whole section, nothing was dead. I still had 2 more dead that I did not see, and part of the reason is because the vines were there's the vines at the top. There were so many vines that it just run to the top, and you couldn't tell that it was dead until I started pulling the vines down and started digging and noticed that the trees were shaking. And so anyway, that cedar right there is dead, and then that one little bitty cedar on the other side of that one's dead. And I could have taken those down, but I kind of run out of time, and I never got back across the road to work because this become more of a project than anticipated. Roane County Public Utilities was out here and doing something, working in the road, they said. I don't know. But anyway, so we had a bunch of, my wife had a bunch of cannons at the house, and she wanted to get rid of them. And I said, well, I'll just take them, put them up on the property. So I came back over here and dug a trench and put the cannons in there. They're looking kind of poorly right now, but I watered them and got them settled in, so I think they'll perk up here pretty soon. I cut this down just a little more as well, and so I'm going to get the excavator out and move it across the road because he'll come down the highway right here and go down and turn around, and then he'll come back and park right in the middle of the road. So I'm going to put the excavator on that side to kind of expedite the thing and make it a little bit more safer, I hope. So let me get that done, And that's it for this trip.